Hello and welcome back to Space Engineers. In today's video, we're looking at another large space station, and this one is called the Independence Border Station, which is this lovely thing that I'm currently standing on top of. And yes, we will be blinded by the sunlight because this Skybox does have a very odd lighting scheme going on with it, but this is the station in question. So it's a very large one, got a lot of stuff going on with it. We've got a full-on trading floor, we've got living quarters, we've got kitchen quarters, and we have a bunch of guns around the outside in the form of assault turrets and custom autocannon turrets to make sure you got a nice lot of protection, and of course to stave off all those pesky pirates. So pressing F10 to find the spawn menu, the Independence Border Station is 2,037 large blocks, using one hell of a lot of the DLC packs. We've also got a nice bit of information about it, such as the lore behind the station, and of course its armament, and then down at the bottom there, all of its basic features. So we've got some basic refineries, basic assemblers, a full-on medical room, a hell of a lot of O2HU generators, so this is perfect for docking up a hydrogen-based ship too. Of course your oxygen tanks, and small hydrogen tanks. So we'll go give this thing a thumbs up, move round to, well, we're just on this side because there is no front to the station, have a quick look around the outside, then we'll go and have a tour of the interior, see how it handles, and I think that'll be about it, other than blowing it up with warheads. So we'll go and start over at this doorway, and we'll call it the very front. So right in the very middle, what we can see for the station is a lovely blue door to enter in. We got 4 doors, one on each side, so we've got plenty of ways to get in and out, and they are all fully set up with an airlock. Make sure you don't waste any oxygen on the inside of the station. Surrounding all there, we've got some lovely dark grey blocks in the form of regular steel blocks, beam blocks, and stairs. And at the top and the bottom there, we see our custom autocannon turret, where we get a closer look up at this one. This is simply all it is. It uses the custom weapon controller. We've got 2 autocannons, we've got hinges, we've got rotors, and should do very well. Of course, it cannot do too much in terms of its rotation, because it will be blocked off by this back section right here, and of course the panels on the side, so that's why we've got turrets on each facing side. Anyway, pulling away from this, moving down slightly past this turret, we then come across to some more lovely blue blocks, this time with a little bit of white to break it all up. We also got some window blocks here inside our main trading floor, but take a closer look at that when we're around on foot. And then down to here, behind these catwalks, we then got some fantastic use of our columns with a conveyor cap on the very end of them. If we come all the way up to them and look down, that's simply how they've been set up. Then right in the very middle of them, we then got a conveyor sorter, purely there for some decoration. Pulling away from there, we can see the side of our basic refinery, once again with a cap on top. And that's where they move all the way down, past our columns, and then come to the very bottom of the station, where we can see we've got another set of columns, this time in grey, then a bunch of interior pillars that go all the way down to the very bottom. And that's simply what it looks like. So looking at it straight up, we see the bottom of all of our conveyor caps, we see our assault cannon turrets below the platform, and moving all the way up, here we go, past that middle section, up to here, it's basically going to be the same story, but this time we're much more compact, because this is where our living quarters, and of course our main control seat area, is going to be sitting. So there's a window to peer inside at our living quarters. That one specifically is for your bathroom and toilet. Like I said earlier, take a better look around on foot. And of course we've got our same pattern once again using our yellow columns with a cap on top with our conveyor sorter right in the middle. Spinning all the way around, here we go. Over to this side, unlike the door that we started with, we then have a connector and merge block set up with a door right in the middle, so you've got plenty of options to connect up to the station with if you don't want to say just park nearby and jetpack all the way over. Put my light on, moving all the way up, there's our assault cannon turret, there's a window to peer inside once again, and all the way up to the top, there's our main control seat area that controls pretty much everything about the ship, even using a jump drive. Yes, this thing does have a jump drive built in, despite it not having any thrusters or gyroscopes, so if you were in a bit of a pickle getting shot by an enemy, you can emergency jump this away, and it will be up to 2,000 kilometers. Anyway, turning off my light, looking all the way down, it's a very good view, turret, and of course our columns once again. Then at the very top where I'm standing, there's our antenna, laser antenna, another column with some pillars on top, and an ore detector just there for some decoration. So like I said, there's no thrusters on this, you're not going to be going out and about and scanning ore patches, because it can't physically do that. And as for that, that's pretty much it for the outside. We'll just scoot down this opposite side, so there's the back where we started with, and of course around to this side, it's going to be the same with our connector and merge block setup. So with that all done and out of the way, it looks bloody fantastic with how it's all been set up. There's a hell of a lot of stuff going on with this, and I do absolutely love it when people make custom turrets, because it's always fun to see how people have set them up. Anyway, grabbing hold of my character, it's now time to come all the way down to the bottom, and into that door that we started with. So down to here, opening this up, and I'm just going to drop all the way down. closing it behind me. In fact, I will open it up once again because it does have a closing door system on there. It's not the auto door and LL script, but rather it's a timer block that after a certain amount of time will just close up all the doors so you don't have to. Anyway, turning around, we've got two ways to go, but they're both going to go to the same area, so we simply go over to this side. We'll open up the doorway, close it. There's the door where, well, we could have come out of, and a lovely warning sign saying airlock in this area. And then turning around, this is what we're first greeted with. So right in the very middle, we can see our store, and on the opposite side will be our vendor block. We've got a bunch of transparent LCD screens in the form of our projector LCD screens. There's a bunch of advertisements. We've got two ways down here, and of course on the opposite side will also be a reflection of this, which will take us down to our jump drive area, and of course where our reactors are sitting. O2HU generator sitting in the floor. Projector tables around the room. Cargo crates, we then got our barrels. Over to the opposite side, we then got a kitchen block for you to grab a drink and a bite to eat, and of course a table for you to go and sit down and enjoy it. We'll start to walk around here, past our kitchen block. There we go. Over to here, it's our table. Around to this section, another table. There's a lovely conveyor just going straight to the floor to connect everything up. Then around to the opposite side, all the way around. There we are, we can see our contract vendor. But once again, one hell of a lot of advertisements being spammed in your face. And yes, as for that, what I'm going to do now is just run across over to this side, go into the other airlock system. So opening up this, unlike the ones on the side, we do not have two doors. This is simply a straight line. But this time, we do have a bunch of lockers lining the room. Armory lockers, regular lockers. You store a few bits and bobs inside. Looking up, a lovely window. Then opening that up, here we go. There's our connector and merge block setup. Anyway, dropping all the way down, back through here. Here we go, laying out all the oxygen there. It's now time to head further down into the station before we start to head all the way up. So down to here on these very steep stairs, down we come. There we are. We've got ourselves a lovely time block just ticking away there. A doorway that will come through in just a moment. But walking around, there's some window blocks here outside. Over to here is one of many custom weapon controllers. But there's another one around this corner. Got another little table for you to sit on and monitor what's going on with that turret. Then around to the opposite side. Instead of having our timer block, we then got our nuclear reactor with a lovely cover on the front there where we can open it up, insert stuff in, and then close up. For symmetry's sake, onto the opposite side, more custom weapon controllers. Anyway, back over to this doorway, opening this up, what we're going to see is our gravity generator, and closing out behind me, and our jump drive in the floor. If we're the access to jump drive, we can see we can jump 2,000 kilometers, which is bloody good stuff for a very large station. As for that, that's pretty much it for down here. It's now time to head up and further into the station, where we will come across to basically a small little command center to control a couple of the turrets. So around to here, all the way around, up these steps. Now we're coming to this little chute right here. So turning around and jetpacking all the way up, save me having to actually crawl up the ladder. Now we're greeted with our first door. Opening up this, inside, we then got our planter. Walking around here, then got a little table, air vent, kitchen block. Around to the opposite side, another planter. And then there's a shower and toilet setup. So this is like a executive suite for one lucky person or business person to come in here and do their work. But as for that, that's pretty much it for this room. Time to come out and head further up. So opening that up, jetpacking once again. Now it's time to come up to this floor, where this will be our proper living quarters. And above there will be the final floor, which will be where we control everything about the station. So opening that up, coming through here, ignoring that doorway, round to here, we've got a little seating area. And of course a small little access panel right here to get a few bits and bobs in and out. Round to the opposite side, there's another seating area, this time with a lovely bump panel. Play around with, but nothing's currently set up on it. Turning around, another air vent. Into here, a doorway to open up. We're going to be greeted with our science bay. We've got a lovely fish block, which I do absolutely love. Round to there, there's your armory locker, little scanning machine. Over here's your lab table, a window to peer outside. And over to this section, a lovely new medical bay block, which I do absolutely love and very much prefer to the vanilla medical bay block, since one just fits perfectly with basically the overall design of everything. Anyway, open that up, back to where we just were, round to here. It's now time to come through the blue doorway, but then come into our sleeping bay for basically your general crew. We've got beds around the room, and they've got lockers, and of course another doorway that'll take us to our toilet and shower setup. And this is what we saw at the very front as we were taking a look around the outside. It says toilet, a shower, through here once again, beds on the opposite side, a little crate for you to store a few bits and bobs, and one hell of a lot of beds. Anyway, opening this up, coming back into that main section in the middle, and heading further up. Here we go, this is our final stop. And landing myself down. Opening up this doorway, we then get greeted by a regular chair just to sit on, and do some work, and of course get blinded by the sun. Then turning around into this seat, and then got controls for our autocannon turrets, which I'm not going to do because it is absolutely horrendous with this skybox. I suppose I will do it for a brief second so you can actually see what's going on. So if you are very sensitive to flashing bright lights, please look away now. So 3, 2, 1. Yeah, that's enough of that. Anyway, hopping out of the seat and moving around into this one, this has got a few more controls, but this time it's going to be for your custom weapon controllers and your assault cannon turrets, and some AI blocks, which are purely there for your defense, and of course to control the turrets. Over to tab number 2, we then got some more controls over your turrets, where this time we've got 1 and 3 to lock onto your targets, and then 2 and 4 to actually change what they're targeting. I personally like to have it targeting weapons, because they're always the more destructive part about an enemy approaching you. Hopping out of this seat and then walking all the way around into this, we then got our general controls for the overall station, where we've got our jump drives on and off, our batteries to auto recharge, our hydrogen tanks, oxygen tanks, O2H2 generators, our general production, which can be your assemblies and refineries. Then got our gravity generator, antenna, and ore detector. Over to tab number 2, we then got our store and vendor blocks. Tab number 3 is our merge box and connectors for around the outside of the station to manually disconnect people who maybe have overstayed their welcome. Then on to tab number 4, we've got nothing else. So all that's really left to do is to jump drive this and then blow it up. So what I want to do is come into here, info, convert to a ship. Now I need to find the jump drive, which is going to be in here. There we go, dragging it onto an empty tab, hitting jump, pressing number 8. As you can see, we can jump 2,000 kilometers, so pressing yes, and looking at it like so. After 7 seconds, we're now going to just jump. And well, like I said, there's no thrusters on this, no gyroscopes, so we do end up drifting for whatever reason, which is going to drift forever. But there we go, we just jumped to the station, and now it's time for me to line this up with warheads. And here we go, to finish off this video. Like I said, I have lined up the interior with a bunch of warheads, and then any second now is going to explode, and that'll be that for this video. And there we go, that was a massive explosion. Look at all those particle effects, what is remaining on the station, and I'm actually surprised that much is actually remaining. I filled up the interior almost completely with warheads. Now, as we can see, there's just barely anything remaining, but you can salvage this if you want to. There's plenty of batteries there. Looks like we do have an oxygen tank down there for you to, well, just go and drain everything out of. And as for the main bulk of the station, it looks like it has been destroyed, or it's just simply flying away. But that is that for the Independence Border Station. It's a fantastic station to use in the world. If you do want to have something that can function as a base for survival mode, it has a bit of defense on there, it's got all the basics you need, and well, should prove very useful. But as for that is it for this video. There'll be a link to its description below if you wish to download and play around it yourself, as well as a link to the Skybox I'm currently using, and I'll be back with another video some point soon. Bye bye.